London derby, Tottenham versus Chelsea. This is the game, isn't it, really? In your calendar, I know this is the one that you look out for as Chelsea fans, no? Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely. When the fixtures are announced in July, Tottenham away is one of the most interesting fixtures. It's one of the most important. Like, it matters. I feel like Chelsea fans can generally tolerate quite a lot. What will not be tolerated is going and getting battered at Tottenham. It will not be allowed. You know, we have a very proud record when we play Tottenham. There was a time where we just didn't lose to them, regardless of how good they were supposed to be or how bad we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
We would always beat them. It didn't matter whether it was Mark Steen scoring a winner, Eddie Newton scoring a winner, Bernard Lambord scoring a winner, Bjarne Goldbeck scoring from 40 yards at White Hart Lane. It didn't matter. Chelsea would always get a result against Tottenham. That's changed slightly.
Of course it has. You're what, 11th and they're first. It's changed a lot.
It's changed slightly. Look, we've had some terrible results against them fairly recently. I remember one at Wembley where Heung-min Son was just unplayable. I think Sarri was manager. He was exceptional, and the results haven't
becoming that again, isn't it?
Yeah, the results haven't gone our way. But I think when the fixture, when people have analysed this fixture, and I think you're certainly conforming to this way of looking at this game, Ade. I think you're looking at it going, this is a disaster for Chelsea. Chelsea are 11th in the league. Tottenham are top. Tottenham are unbeaten. Tottenham are fantastic. Tottenham have accrued so many points, and they're basically winning 80% of their games. They are fantastic, and Chelsea are all over the place. I think this is a perfect fixture for us. I think this is the exact fixture that Chelsea need. Off the back of that appalling result against Brentford, an embarrassing result at home against Brentford, playing Tottenham is the exact tonic. It's the perfect fixture. You have an opportunity to get back on track.
So basically you're saying playing the name's the perfect fixture, because playing this Tottenham side isn't.
It is.
It isn't, because you're not playing very well and they're playing very good. It isn't.
This season, Chelsea have played very well twice. Once against Liverpool, once against Arsenal. We raised the tide. Everything elevates when we play good opposition.
Yeah, and you didn't win neither of those games.
No, but we've played very well in those games.
At home. Both of those games were at Stamford Bridge. Yes,
at home. But our home form has generally not been good. Now you're going to the
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's true, but our home form has not particularly been good. You know, we've already lost at home to Nottingham Forest. We've already lost at home to Brentford. We've already lost at home to Aston Villa. We aren't particularly good at home. So the fact that our best performances have come against teams that are title challengers would suggest that this is the kind of fixture that we are going to play well in. You said something at the top of that which was very interesting. You said going to Spurs and getting battered is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable.
Are you referencing Mauricio Pochettino here? And his tenure as Chelsea manager? No, Chelsea as a club. So he's in, I wouldn't say he's in good standing, but he's okay right now. Yeah, I don't think there's any conversation around Pochettino. Look, he's been getting an awful lot wrong. I am not particularly... How can there not be a conversation about a manager that sits 11th? Is it 11th in the Premier League? How can there not be a conversation because he's just arrived. Because he has just arrived. And there's been no new manager bounces. There's been no style of football. We might have been 15th, mate. So maybe there has been a new manager bounce. Look, I'm not particularly impressed with Pochettino. For the record, I'm not particularly impressed by him. I don't think he's been getting that many things right. I think that he hasn't conducted himself brilliantly in press conferences. Overall, I'm fairly neutral on Pochettino. But I also annoyingly have to admit that he is the best thing about the club in terms of a footballing conversation if you look above the players. Okay. If he's the best thing, obviously, then Ange Postecoglou clearly is almost godlike for Spurs fans. I mean, he's landed. You spoke about Pochettino coming into a club, right? And he's brand new. You know, Ange has come into a club. He's lost the club's best player in Premier League history, and he's done miracles, right? Everything seems to be working for them. He's got defence looking solid. Basuma and Sarr look fantastic in the midfield, which allows Maddison to be a genius and Son scoring up front. Kulusevski, I said he reminds me of Dirk Kuyt, and he really does, because he's just the work rate. Tenacious. Tenacious and work rate done. Richarlison, it's another conversation, but he seems to have landed, unlike Mr. Pochettino, and got everything right. Postecoglou has been fantastic. He really has. I mean, since he's landed at the club, he's had the Midas touch, hasn't he? Yeah. You know, he has been brilliant, and I think even the signings that he's made have been very clever, very acute, and they've managed to repair their team exactly where they needed to. But this is the difference between the recruitment at Chelsea and the recruitment at Tottenham. Tottenham have signed players that their team desperately needed in order to improve their first team. Yeah. So they needed somebody creative. They were going to lose the creative brilliance of Harry Kane. They needed somebody to assist. They needed somebody to dictate the tempo, and they went and signed the best possible player that they could find to do that job.
James Maddison. Chelsea chose to not sign James Maddison because he didn't fit our criteria for players. Effectively, what I'm saying here is he's too old. So Chelsea didn't want him because he was too old.
I almost think that's too easy just to point at and say, Maddison, Ange Postecoglou's come and seemed to have got everything right. So it's not just Maddison. He's had to get a new goalkeeper in, right? Hugo Lloris was their goalkeeper for 11 years. And yes, I know towards the end, not very good, but still, they've had to change that. They've changed their centre-back. They've added a midfield player in there. Yeah. Again, it's a lot that he's done right. Maddison's just too easy to say, okay, Maddison's coming in.
Sorry. Madison was simply an example I was using to show the difference between the recruitment strategy at Chelsea and the recruitment strategy at Tottenham. You are totally correct. It's fair. It's only fair and just for us to acknowledge the brilliance of Ange Postecoglou. I didn't think he would have this impact. I didn't think he was this good a manager. This is the weirdest thing that I think I've ever said about anybody in a footballing context. But he's a Tottenham manager who I actually like. Like, I find him very interesting. I find him very watchable. He seems like a good bloke. And the way that he has landed at that club and changed the entire trajectory of the team is so impressive. I am fearful of Tottenham this year. And I don't know if I've ever said that before.
How fearful? What are we talking about?
I can't live in a world where they potentially win the Premier League. So I am slightly concerned that that's the case. But isn't it a sad indictment almost of the Premier League? Isn't it a sad state of affairs when you think about the Premier League the way that it is now, that a team can win 8 out of 10 games and still not definitely be in a title race?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Agreed.
not Postecoglou's fault.
It wouldn't surprise me if they finished 4th or 5th.
No.
Yeah.
No, and it would massively surprise you if they win the league.
Massively surprise me if they finish 2nd.
Yeah. Exactly.
In fact, massively surprised me they finished 3rd.
But I am convinced, regardless. I've been very complimentary towards Postecoglou. I think he's been brilliant. But I think Chelsea will beat him. I really do. I think that we'll go there and we'll win. I genuinely do. I think that we are totally capable of beating this Tottenham team. I think that there is a vulnerability to them.
What world have you done this season? What have you done this season to say you're totally capable of beating this Spurs team?
You've done nothing. We've seen a vulnerability to this Tottenham team. They've got very lucky. They were incredibly lucky against Liverpool. They were incredibly lucky against Sheffield United. They have been very lucky at points this season. And Chelsea win at Tottenham. That's life. That's life. Chelsea win at Tottenham.
That's what it is, isn't it? That's all it is.
Look, if you did a combined 11, Chelsea, look, I know they're playing better than us. I know they're top of the league. I know that we're sitting in mid-table, and I know that we just got beat by Brentford. But if you did a combined 11, Chelsea-Tottenham, there would be more Chelsea players in it.
No chance.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.